Good morning. It's Tuesday, May 28th, and I have good news for you all. My software has been corrected. Not only has it been corrected, but MovieZoo, the software creator, have given me a license that is good until 2050. Now, I don't expect to be around to use this license till 2050, but it allows me to turn it over to my great-grandchildren and my great-great-grandchildren if they choose to follow in my footsteps as an animator. You know how I became an animator. My granddaughter showed me the way when she was 11 years old, and I liked what she was doing with her animation, so I started doing that. Now, I don't believe that she's still doing animations. She's a college graduate and has a wonderful job in the city of New York. I don't think she's animating anymore. I, on the other hand, have been animating for what is now 12 years. But I've really only been online seriously since the pandemic started. So I'm anxious and glad that I was able to get my software problem solved, and I don't have to go somehow or other through the back door to create my images. I can now go back to doing them 100% from scratch. And so I hope that you will enjoy them and continue to enjoy them, because I am going to continue to produce them. And so today I want to talk a little bit about Trump and his hush money trial. There's only three ways that this trial can end. The jury are going to be deliberating today and tomorrow, and who knows how long it'll take for them to come to some verdict. And I think the verdict is crucial for the American people to hear. And I honestly don't expect him to really be convicted, because I believe there is probably at least one juror who will not be able to come up with a guilty verdict. I'm sure for most of you out there, I really don't have to state this, but I will anyhow. There's really only three ways that the Trump hush trial jury can end once the deliberations have started. So let's take a look at them. I know you all are probably 100% familiar with this, but I want to get it off my chest, so to speak. So according to a U.S. attorney, there are three possible conclusions that the jury can reach. Now, only somebody who is totally out of it would not realize that there are only three conclusions. The first conclusion, and the one that I am rooting for, is that Trump is found guilty. Now, if the Trump jury finds him guilty of all 34 counts, he would become eligible for a prison sentence. But, as the experts seem to say, there's very little chance of that actually happening, and if it does happen, there's very little chance that he will actually be in jail before November. And that's because sentencing hearings are typically scheduled a few months after the verdict. Now, I don't know why they don't do it quickly, and I don't know why they couldn't make an exception in this particular case to do it quickly. But even if the judge chooses to give Trump a couple of months in prison, it wouldn't happen so fast. And if Trump is found guilty, we can bet every bottom dollar that we have that he will appeal the decision. And any jail time awarded to Trump would not be executed until after his appeal runs through the legal cycle. And believe it or not, that could take years. Now, the second situation that can occur, and which I believe is most probably what will happen, it will be a hung jury. Now, if the jury can't reach a verdict, the judge will declare a mistrial, probably. Then the Manhattan District Attorney can choose to retry the case with a brand new jury. But if that happens, that would affect the political calendar in such a way that it almost would be impossible to get an immediate retrial. And that, of course, would cause it to run up against the November election. But if that happens, then the retrial will take place after the election. And then once the election happens, it could be a situation of all bets are off. Because if Trump wins the election, there's no way he's not going to pardon himself. So you see, right now, it's a very difficult situation because even though the verdict didn't come out in Trump's favor with the sort of hung jury, he could still say it's a victory for him because there was some people who disagreed with him being, and he can continue to call this episode in his life a witch hunt. He can claim that it was politically motivated and that the Democrats are actually interfering with the election campaign. And Trump has already said that Biden is at the head of this operation because he can't campaign. He's trying to injure me, his opponent. They're trying to hurt the opponent because they can't win it fair and square. That's Trump's position. Now, item 3 would be Trump acquitted. That's almost impossible in my mind. That the jury will find him not guilty on all 34 counts. And then the prosecution would be unable to try him again. And this would be a monumental political win for Trump. But nobody in their right mind is saying that Trump has a chance of 34 counts coming up at 0. So we can almost discount thinking about Trump being acquitted. It's either guilty or a holdout and a possible mistrial because of that. Because there's no way in anybody's mind that Trump could be innocent on those 34 counts. So item 3, Trump is acquitted, is pure nonsense. We shouldn't even think about it. And let us wait and see patiently what this jury comes to. My guess it'll be number 2, but my hope is that it's number 1. So I'll leave you with that this morning. Have a great day. Bye.